Welcome to Boss Up Babes, helping babes show up, boss up, and thrive. With #1 best-selling author, global influencer, and ultimate boss babe, Carissa Adkins. Carissa is a health and wellness expert and CEO of the 365 Daily Hustle, here to help mompreneurs and career-focused women boss up and reclaim their healthiest life. She is a pro at cutting through the BS and inspiring massive breakthroughs that help women create healthy routines and habits that facilitate personal and professional growth. Are you ready to reclaim your best life, take action, and be a badass boss babe? Let's get to it. Hey, you guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the Boss Up Babes show. We are a bi-weekly show dedicated to all you entrepreneurs and innovators and hustlers and lady bosses out there. Well, most of you know me, but in case you are catching this live or listening to the podcast for the very first time, I am Carissa Adkins, and I am a weight loss and habit change coach that helps women create those healthy habits so that they can ultimately get fit and stay healthy forever. I love what I do. And I just love preaching all things, just like all things health, right? Mentally, physically, and emotionally. And when we think about emotional health and physical health and mental health, happiness definitely plays a huge role, right? How happy we actually feel. So I just kind of want to ask you a couple of questions here. So if you're listening, just kind of nod your head or not, agree or disagree. But what comes to mind when you hear the words happiness? What comes to mind when you hear the word abundance or joy? Do you feel that you are happy, like truly freaking happy? Maybe you're someone who's like, well, I'm really happy in my career, but my relationships are sucking right now, and vice versa, right? Do you wish that you felt more happiness and abundance on an everyday basis? And if you've ever caught yourself saying, if I only had, I would be more happier. Right. Well, today on the Boss Up Babes show, we are talking all things happiness, if you didn't catch my drift. So we're talking happiness and joy. And of course, how can we create more of that in our life? And today I am interviewing the amazing boss babe, Diane Lang. She's a creator and founder of DL Counseling. Diane is a therapist, a national speaker, an educator, a certified positive psychological coach. She has her master's degree in counseling. She has written not one, not two, but I was like, wait, three books, and it's really talking all about mental, emotional health, happiness, resiliency, stress management, everything that us crazy, ambitious, fearless women need. And what better to do that than, of course, bringing on Diane Lang. So Diane, welcome to the Boss Up Babe show.
Thank you so much for having me. I already feel empowered just listening to you. I think we're done. That was great.
Boom, that's it. Jacob would be like, that's the quickest show we've ever done. No, seriously, welcome. I know a lot of people strive for happiness, and a lot of people right now are really hurting mentally when it comes to feeling happy and abundant, again, on a consistent basis. That's always the key, right? Where we don't just want to feel it for like a minute and then go back into the dark days. We want to be able to show up in life thriving and vibrant and full of energy and passion. So I'm honored to have you on the show. I do love starting every show off with like a random question of the day.
Okay.
And with Valentine's Day next week, I'm curious, how do you spoil yourself for Valentine's Day, if you do?
Well, I am a real chocolate addict. There is no way around it. So it's not really a special day for me because I need chocolate every day. But on that day, I eat the really good chocolate. Like I will only go for the really good stuff, like my favorite. And then, of course, it lasts all week. So then I feel guilty and I need to work out more. But for that day, it's pure happiness for me. I know for everybody, it's different. It might be a glass of wine, a steak. But for me, chocolate, and I'm done.
Is your go-to. I'm not a huge chocolate fan. I'm like the salty, like give me the chips and the crunch. But so I don't normally buy myself anything for Valentine's Day. My daughter, my dad, my daughter, my niece, and my sister, they all have Valentine's Day birthdays.
Oh,
unplanned. Yeah. So it's never been. And prior to coaching, you know, and a long time ago, I was in the flower business and weddings. So Valentine's Day pretty much was a working day for my entire family. But this year I did splurge a little bit, girl. I don't know if you can see these gorgeous, cute little dainty earrings.
oh, I can. I had to look up. They're very pretty.
Yeah, I know. They're so like, and they're totally different. I'm trying like this whole, I don't know if it's like I'm 30, going to be 37 this year. I'm trying to be more hip and cool or whatnot. But I actually I came across this site. It's called Ana Luisa. And you guys, if you're listening, that's ANAWISA. And I came across this site and it literally was like 14 karat gold. So quality is important to me. It's super unique. And my daughter and I were sitting on the couch and I scrolled through an Instagram, of course, and saw, you know, this cute little thing. She's like, Mom, that's so edgy and that's so cute and that's so you. And I'm like, okay. I was like, girl, I'm going to buy me some earrings for Valentine's Day. So that is what I am treating myself this Valentine's Day. I got them in just in time. But anyways,
I gave up on being cool. I'm 50, so it doesn't even matter anymore. I would need way more than earrings. So maybe a little like, you know, microdermabrasion or something for me would be the good way.
Well, you know, and I feel like when you're happy and you feel abundant and you're attracting that and, you know, like that all around you, I don't need a holiday to buy myself something special. If I feel special and if I want something, I set my eyes on the prize and get it. So, yeah, I just, you know, normally I'm a big hoop girl, but these were just so cute and dainty. I had to give them a shot. And I've been sleeping in them for like a week. So they really don't bother me, which is crazy because that's hard to do. Anyways, well, thank you for, you know, just kind of chit chatting about that chocolate with, you know, with your little guilty pleasure, if you will. We all need them. So Diane, let's get into it. Happiness, joy, abundance. You are the happiness. I called you the queen earlier on my story.
Oh, like, I like that.
I'm the habit queen. She's the happiness queen. And I love it. I am curious though. Tell me just a little like 2-minute overview of your story. How did you get to really finding this niche of helping people, you know, find happiness?
So I've been in the field for a while now, both as a therapist and also as an educator. I've been teaching at Montclair State University for about 17 years now. So I've been on both sides of it, but I worked with a clientele that was really tough clientele. It's traumatic brain injury, spinal injury, and substance abuse. So it was a really, you know, tough clientele because a lot of them are paralyzed from their chest or waist down. They've lost a lot of their physical abilities as well as cognitive abilities from brain, spinal injury. And I was trying to research doing something different. And we always talk about PTSD, you know, post-traumatic stress disorder, which is, you know, something that a lot of people go through with an illness, an injury, something traumatic. But on the other side, there's post-traumatic growth, which is a positive psychology term. And no one ever discusses that. And I'm like, this is really interesting. And I started going down the positive psychology road and learning all about that, educating myself, getting certified. And I actually switched and started using positive psychology in my counseling practice and then slowly switched to a coaching practice. Okay. And really the only difference is positive psychology is really the study of happiness, the science behind happiness, what makes us have a quality of life, to be more resilient, to be optimistic, which is so important in general, but especially with, you know, a pandemic for 2 years. We absolutely need that ability to be optimistic, see the good in a bad situation, and build resiliency. Yeah. So when I started working for my brain injury clients and spinal injury clients who've been through some really tough stuff, I was like, okay, if this is working for them, it could work for anybody. And then I got sick and I couldn't swallow for about a year. I had a really serious illness. I burned my throat and I started using all of it. I'm like, okay, this shit works. Like there's just no way around it. It works. Yeah. And then I started teaching it, and both on, you know, college level and also in workshops, webinars. And then it just became a whole business. And I quit, you know, working at a rehabilitation center and started my own business and been doing it now, the positive psychology route, probably 6-7 years.
Wow. Isn't that great? If you guys like caught that, like she was curious, right? Curiosity.
Yes.
And then she became super like knowledgeable. She just sunk in and got all the, you know, learned about it, started like using it in her other business. And then she had to heal herself through her own stuff.
Yeah.
She was drinking her own Kool-Aid and then finally realized she was like, oh my God, this is real. Like
Well, that's the important part. Like, you're in the fitness field, people are going to come to you because you've already drank the Kool-Aid and you're feeling that physical. Not only do you look great, but you're feeling it, because physical fitness is not just about what you look like. It's really for mental health as well. The more you exercise, the better you feel emotionally. One stat that I absolutely love is if you can walk, just walking, because not everybody can, exercise because of injuries or illnesses. Some people can't afford a gym, but if you could just walk 4 times a week for at least 20 minutes, you can get some of the same benefits as an anti-anxiety pill without any side effects. Plus, you're getting nature, mindfulness. So you have to be able to believe in what you sell or believe in what you do. And for me, I always was a therapist and always got trained, had my master's in it. But when I really found this science, I was like, oh my God, like, why isn't this more mainstream?
Yeah.
Like, we know what makes us have mental illness and what makes us depressed, but what makes us happy? What gives us a good quality of life, well-being? And why are we not promoting that more? Because, well, we need it. It's really important. So yeah, it's such an amazing science. And if anybody wants any information, Dr. Martin Seligman, he's the father of it, the founder of it. You go online, you Google it. There's so much information. So, besides what we give today, it's just a really great intro into being happier in your life.
That's amazing. We'll have to check that out for sure. So you made it sound like super like, oh, I just did this and I did this. And,
I wish.
Like before we take a break, we've got like 3 minutes. So I just want to dive in, like, because not everything is going to be all amazing and roses and chocolates, right? So what hurdles have you had to overcome in order to get to where you are right now?
Well, I just want everybody to know we can't be happy every day, no matter what. There's going to be external circumstances like a pandemic that are going to affect us. And that's okay, because we're going to have stress. You can't live a stress-free life, but it's how you manage it. So being realistic about it, but really asking yourself the question of, how do you define happiness? What does it look like? What does it feel like for you? Because happiness is such an individual thing. So what makes me happy, like I said, is chocolate. Somebody might be like, that is disgusting. Like, I hate chocolate. I want chips. I want wine. But really thinking about what makes you happy, no matter what's going on in your life, whether we have a pandemic, whether it's raining out, sunny, you're sick, you feel great. What makes you happy? And not many people take the time to think about that. They don't even know what makes them happy. And when we do research, people are like, I know what makes my spouse happy, my kids happy, my boss, my best friend, me. I have no clue, because we forget about it. And remembering that when we forget about our happiness, we're forgetting about our self-care, which is another important tool for feeling good and having overall well-being. So happiness is something that we really need to put some time into, but there are hurdles. We're not going to be happy every day. I wish. If I find that magic pill, believe me, I'd give it out. But
be a billionaire.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And you're right. Like I challenge the whole, we can't be happy every day. Cause I get it, right? Ups and downs. I mean, people get into fights, you could spill, coffee on your shirt and just change your mood in an instant. But I, like my mentor, I wrote it down the other day and it said, abundance and happiness is a feeling. And so if you are ever not feeling how you want to be feeling, you can always just close your eyes and start to imagine. And I know we're getting to a lot of mindset stuff, and that's kind of like I geek out on it, but you can always stop what you're doing, take some breaths, and just start to imagine something that does bring you joy. But you make a great point. Most people don't know. It's most women. I get on the phone, I'm like, well, what brings you happiness? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? Like, what's important to you? And they're like, my kids. And I'm like, what to you? Right. Like it's so sad as women, we tend to completely forget about our own happiness and well-being.
It's a learned trait. We watched our moms do it, our grandmothers do it. We're brought up to be nurturers, caretakers, and which is great. We get to take care of everybody else, but we forget we can't give what we don't have. No. So if you're not in a good place, you can't give it.
Nope. You guys, we're going to take a hot minute, quick break, and we'll be right back, but stay tuned. And we're going to continue this conversation all about happiness. Oh, hey, you guys, we are back, and I'm with Diane Lane, happy specialist expert. I just keep calling her all kinds of different things, but you guys, if you are watching, you're going to see, like, she just looks, like she's at peace and she's at joy. And I wish you guys could see that. So you guys, we left off with, happiness is a feeling, and you can make it, your own happiness a priority.
Right.
And you need to really talk about what makes you happy and even identifying what makes you happy so that you can start that train. But we all want to be happy. I mean, let's face it, we all want to be happy, but
Absolutely.
what truly makes us happy? What do you think? What are the myths of happiness?
So some of the myths is, first off, money. Everybody thinks that money is going to make you happy. And the truth about money is money, material things, title, status, exposure, power, whatever you're wanting, it could give you a short-term boost. Like if I save all the money in the world and I buy my dream car, my dream house, that's great. I'm driving my BMW, but then 2-3 months later or 2-3 weeks later, depending, you get on the hedonic treadmill and you're like, okay, what's next? I have the BMW, but what about the Porsche or the Mercedes? You're constantly looking for what's next.
Yeah.
But something you said before gives us long-term happiness, and you brought it up, so I'm really going to stick with it for a minute. One way to actually get long-term happiness is memories and experiences. That's what really brings us happiness. So what you were saying before is so right on. If you take a minute, 2 minutes to just take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and visualize a time in your life that was amazing, whether it's a vacation, a wedding, a party, doesn't matter, a date, doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it was 20 years ago, 5 years ago, or yesterday. Your brain can't tell the difference if you're in the event or just visualizing it. So by going back there and spending a few minutes, not only does it cultivate your happiness, it actually improves memory. So we do it for positive aging as well. So at this point in life, if it's like, well, do I want to buy the car? No, go on the cruise, take that vacation, because the memories and experiences make a huge difference. The other big key of happiness is socialization across the board. Doesn't matter where you live, what race, religion, age, gender, socialization is that important. And it's kind of like an umbrella underneath that includes support, having a really strong support system of unconditional love, people who won't judge you, but will always be there. And we don't need a lot, just a few. Having some fun, which is really important, and whatever you consider fun, again, which makes you think, what is happiness? And then on the other side, having a community like you do at a gym where, everybody connects, each other, you feel comfortable. And that could be your gym, it could be your neighborhood, it could be the PTA, it doesn't matter what it is, but we need all of that to feel that happiness. So you need socialization, your memories and experiences. And then on the other side, so we don't feel a shallow happiness, we need to have meaning and purpose. As you were talking about, I love what I do. And I feel the same way. If you love what you do and there's passion and purpose and meaning, you're going to feel really good, because that gives us that sense of we're doing something important. We're making the world a better place. And it doesn't have to be for money. So if you're retired, it could be volunteer. It could be the way you treat other people. It could be a hobby, but we all need to have that sense of purpose and meaning. It's really important. So those are like 3 big things right there, that you could start working on.
I love that. Yeah. And those are 3 easy things. And I'll just kind of add to that first one, where you can close your eyes and, slip back into a positive memory. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of positive memories. And so what I do now is I really envision the future that is going to bring me joy, right? Bring me happiness. I see myself on stages with 1,000 people. I see myself walking on beaches that I've never even been on. Like that's the power of or the cool thing about vision boards is you can start to plant those seeds. And if you can change your mood in a matter of seconds, what you're saying, right? Like you can slip into this happiness state at any point in time, no matter how stressed you are, then you can sure as crap, step into a future version of you who's healthy, happy, and thriving. And then eventually, I believe that starts ingraining into our neurological side. And we're like, oh, I'm living this happiness, joyful life that I've been dreaming about. I do have one question. So I've always said, so tell me if I'm wrong. Here we go. Your body can't be sad and happy at the same time. Is that true? And what I mean by you can't really be super angry and be happy at the same time. So is that the truth?
There is some truth to that, right? So if you're in a really bad place at the moment, let's say you just had a breakup or divorce and you're going through it and you feel really angry, and anger is a secondary emotion. So there'll be fear, there'll be hurt, a few other things. You can't feel happy at the same time, but you can work towards that. You can retrain your brain or even, switch your mood, memories and experiences will switch your mood. Music will switch your mood, as long as it's empowering music. I've said that to clients and thll be like, I was, listening to like Don't Break My Heart by Mariah Carey. And I'm like, no, that's not going to do it on repeat. That's going to make you sad. But music that you would work out to, music that lifts you up, that can shift you as well. So if you're in a bad place, you can shift. And also remembering this, negative emotions are stronger than positive emotions.
Right.
That is true. We all have a negative bias. So we all kind of tend to lean towards the negative. But if we can have a daily diet or a daily dose of positive emotions, and we need 3 positive emotions to balance out 1 negative. So you want to get as many as you can during the day, but they're all free and easy. Love, joy or happiness, awe and wonderment, which is just being outside and noticing the beauty, savoring, pride, curiosity, accomplishment, hope, inspiration. And the 2 easiest, random acts of kindness and gratitude, which could be part of your daily life. You can make them part of your routine. If every day you do a gratitude check where you just ask yourself, what are 2 to 3 things I'm grateful for that happened today? Do a random act of kindness for somebody, which could be a smile, saying hi, a compliment, holding the door. And if you make your bed in the morning, this is the easiest. It's a military trick. Just make your bed and you get a sense of accomplishment and pride. That's 4 positive emotions. Plus, if you just give somebody a hug, tell someone you love them, you got love. There's so many ways to just add positive emotions. So the way you think about it in a diet, and you tell your client, you need this much fruit, veggies, protein. We say the same thing in mental health. How many positive emotions are you getting? But I do want to put out there, it doesn't mean negative emotions are bad. I know they get a bad rap. They're dark, they're intense, but they're natural and normal. We do need to feel them. If you try to push them aside or internalize them, they can turn into depression, into anxiety, get that rumination. So we don't want that. But if you notice that you just have one of those days and you want it to be a little happier, then add in some positive emotions. Make sure you're being social, get that support. Sit down and think about a great experience you have. And also make sure you have meaning and purpose. Are you doing something, whether it's a hobby or a career, that really makes you feel you're making the world a better place? Are you living your legacy? What is it that you want to be known for? So, those are a few things that you can do just to add in some happiness into your day.
I love that. And you mentioned so many, those are all, you guys, really tiny, small changes that can equal major, big time results. And notice she didn't really say, go get a massage, go spend money, go whatever. Cause that's like that go back to the myth, right? Of happiness has got to be like, you can't buy it. You can't go to Walmart and find abundance in a jar, right? Like,
there is a difference though. You got self-care and you have self-soothing. And I want people to understand the difference. Like self-soothing is I'm going to go get a massage. I'm going to get a mani-pedi. I'm going to go have a drink. And that's great. It gives you short-term, right? If I go get a massage, I might feel good for 24, 48 hours, but it's not getting to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is self-care, which is working out, which is meditating or doing something of mindfulness, which is self-evaluation, knowing what you want, who you want to be. Those are the kind of things, diet, sleep, that we want to do because they're preventative, and those are self-care. Self-soothing, nothing wrong with it, but we don't want to mix the 2 because it's not going to give you what you're looking for. Right. So, self-care definitely way more important.
100%. It's been definitely a key to my success. It's part of, one of my steps in my program. I'm sure it is with yours, but it truly is. And redefining like what self-care looks like for you. Like she kept mentioning all of these, like exercise, diet, meditation, even just sitting at the end of the day with a gratitude practice. These are all habits. These are all, behaviors that you can implement, right? You just have to start small, you guys. You mentioned happiness so much, and you mentioned all kinds of amazing things, but what brings you happiness? What are some things that you love to do that really bring you happiness?
Well, I'm not in the same shape as you, but I love working out. And for me, it started as mental health. It started as walking. Now it's weightlifting. And I know for myself, if I don't do it, I'm in a bad mood. And, after 2 or 3 days of not doing it, I could feel a difference. So for me, that's that mix. It's the mental health. And I love working out. Like I actually really enjoy it. I'm in Florida right now on vacation. I already went to the gym, and I'm on vacation. It's a work vacation, but still it's really important. And chocolate and my dog, besides my husband and my daughter who make me very happy, but I love my golden. He's the best. So, it's really thinking about what defines happiness for yourself. And for you, I'm sure it's working out and whatever. What else do you love?
Yeah. Oh, girl, I'm like, what don't I love? But I've literally scheduled happiness throughout the day. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like a daily dose. But yeah, I'm at the gym at 4 a.m. I love strength training. Like
4 a.m. You like waking up in the morning? Wow. Yeah, that's not.
Well, I go to bed at 8. I love my sleep. Sleep brings me happiness and joy. But yeah, it's like, but meditation is a huge one. Reading, like I just can't get enough knowledge right now. I'm just in this zone of like, gimme. And coaching brings me happiness because I now see the growth that happens when you challenge yourself, right? So even challenging, I'm just like, I'm on a hold. I'm like, give me more, unpeel the layers, because I can see that every layer brings me more and more happiness. There comes the pain and unfolding a lot of my past trauma and stuff too, don't get me wrong, but who I have become in this process of losing 100 pounds and truly just looking at myself, with self-worth and love and really focusing in on everything that brings me joy. I scheduled in. Diane, thank you so much. Where can people find you?
You can go to my website, which is just dlcounseling.com. And, on there's a newsletter. You can email me. There's some resources. So if I can help in any way, please reach out. And thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. You guys go out and search her books, buy her books. And if you are needing some help, for sure, reach out to her. Of course, all of her links are going to be in the show notes. And speaking of show notes, if y'all are loving this cute little earring that I got going on, I say this one because I bought this thinking it was like 2 pairs, but it's not. So I got this one as well. And they come in these adorable little packs because I travel all the time and it's kind of fun to have little jewelry bags, but I just noticed they are doing a 40% off. If you listen to this show and click on the link, they're doing a Valentine's Day special. So 40% off, get yourself something nice to wear and some delicious chocolates and, spoil yourself. We don't need people to spoil us. We can spoil ourselves anytime, whether it's reading, self-care, saying no, doing whatever. So Diane, thank you. It's been a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks you. Have a good day, you guys. And remember, you can listen to all of these podcast episodes on over 50 different listening platforms. You can catch and watch this on YouTube and motivationandsuccess.com. And until then, stay thriving. And most importantly, you guys stay happy.
Thank you for listening to Boss Up Babes with Carissa Adkins, bringing you tangible tips and expert coaching advice to help you boss up and get healthy. Tune in every second and fourth Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for interviews with industry leaders and powerhouse boss babes that will empower you to take action and live your best life. If you're ready to boss up and work with Carissa in one of her transformative group coaching programs, visit 365dailyhustle.com.